Hello and welcome to the Rams Talk Podcast preview show. This week, following the midweek game against Exeter, we've got a big, and we were having a quick natter about it, real playoff team game with Stevenage. I've got Matt from the Stevenage FC Podcast to talk all things Stevenage with me. But just before I go into that, mate, we've got both quite out there football tops on, and I see a couple of football tops behind you. I mean, I'm a massive fan of football tops. I collect them myself. What have you got on there, pal?
So, well, I mean, after that unbelievable season we had last season, and let me tell you, it was unbelievable. I've seen my team for so many years down the bottom of the league, so I can't put into words. But the red and black one, which is there, that is last season's promotion shirt. So that was the home kit last season that the team finished second place in. And then this one here is another special kit. This is a player-worn shirt from a player of last season called Jake Taylor, and that was the shirt worn when we beat Aston Villa away, and he signed it.
Nice.
So that is actually he marked Philippe Coutinho in that kit, and outmarked him as well. Literally, yeah. So I've got these two up here. When we at the end of the season, I thought, do you know what? They need to go on the wall because that is the best ever season I've ever seen Stevenage in. And do you know what? I'm hoping, fingers crossed, the wall in front of me will have two very special kits on when we go up to the Championship. There we go. I'm throwing it out there, but that's what they are. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we were having a quick natter before we went live. I mean, Stevenage are having an absolutely whale of a time this season, beyond expectations for everyone within the division. But obviously, the last couple of games, just obviously going up against Reading, we came unstuck against them midweek. Yourselves did with a 1-0 defeat. You've had Port Vale 2-2, but you're still in the playoff fight, which if you said at the start of the season, you were going to be in there. We had a quick natter before. You would have dreamt and called them deluded. But what's your thoughts on the season so far before we go into how you're getting on recently and stuff? Just give me an overall picture of where you see the club are.
Yeah, wow, what a question. I mean, we come into the division, and I think for all of us Stevenage supporters, well, me anyway, and I know a lot of others, it was just incredible, to come into League One after the years of hurt that we had down the bottom of League Two. It was just phenomenal. And to be honest with you, I'm sitting here now and, it's February and there's only 16 games. And I'm still pinching myself that we're playing teams like yourself. Like honestly, it's not even one of these things where we've got, I've got used to it and I'm used to seeing the team that I'm still not. Still pinching myself every week that we're playing in League One and playing in front of these big crowds. But yeah, we came into this season and obviously incredible year last year. Incredible. Best I've ever had as a Stevenage supporter for 20 years. And we came into it and it was a case of, do we come into the division and do we keep that team, all of that team together and be competitive, but probably not do the things we're doing? Or do we look to upgrade the team and bring in players that have played up the top of League One? And knowing our manager, he's a winner. And, it doesn't matter what league he's in, he'll want to win it. That's who he is. And he wanted to upgrade the team, so we brought in a lot of players that had been playing up the top of the division. And, we signed quite a few players that have actually been playing playoffs over the last couple of years and played in the playoff semi-finals last season. And so that's what we did. We kept the original players that could make the step up to League One. And we wanted to give it a good crack, and we've done that. We had a brilliant start to the season, won our opening 3 games, lost 1 game in 2 months, just built a bit of momentum and knowing the manager, that's what they're all about. They start the season, especially with the manager in charge. He wants to get wins pre-season, start the season, get wins in the bag, build a bit of momentum, bring people together. And that's what we did. And we created a few special moments along with that. And after the start, we've been very consistent. We've had a tough run of games where, we had to play your Oxfords and your Boltons back to back. But we always respond. And whenever we lose a game, we always come out the other end with a win or a draw. And we've done that a lot this season. The away form's been brilliant. We've got 9 wins. The home form's been great. We just got 2 losses at home from all the games. And it's been a truly remarkable season. And to be 6th with 53 points after 30 matches is, I'm so proud. Honestly, I'm proudest I've ever been as a Stevenage supporter. And, we look at the season, we look at the performances, we look at the wins. There's so many 3-0s in there as well. And, the Leyton Orient wins, I always remember. The win against yourself back in October, I always remember as a big moment for us, big win. So yeah, it's been a truly remarkable season, and I just feel that we can do it. And who knows? We'll see where we are in a couple of months and see if we're still in the pack. But yeah, what's a truly special season? And I didn't think that there'd be a season that could top last season. And at the minute, it's just edging it. I think just on the fact that we're up there in League One. But yeah, what an amazing time we're having.
Well, that's it. And we were nattering about the games previously. I mean, when we came to you, I mean, Adam had a chat with you on the preview pods back in October. It was one of them teams that they're up there, they're flying high. It's probably the last place we want to go to, especially where your home form was the way it was. And then as you say, the result went your way. It just seems this game this weekend just seems a very, very similar game, that you are still in there, you're still in the fight. And we're not the best at home at the moment. We are a bit, it depends on which team turns up, really. So for yourselves, I mean, I think when you go to away games this season, the big clubs, us included, if you want to call us that, are you going to games full of optimism that you can really take it to teams and that now? Whereas before, maybe at the start of the season, you might have been a bit sceptical and going, yeah, we'll go and have a good day out, but we're probably not expecting much.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I think the thing with us as well is I think the one thing that we have is, and I know this will be different with our squad and the manager and the type of people we've got in the setup, but as supporters, there's no pressure. I mean, no one expected us to just get promoted out of League Two. Certainly no one predicted us to be in the top 6 of League One with 16 games to play, right? Yeah. So I think there's no pressure. So when we turn up to games, just enjoying the day, believing the team can win, backing the team. That's the way it is. I think with the team, they turn up to games and believe they can beat anyone. I mean, it's how the manager is. It's the characteristics we've got in the players that we've got in that dressing room. And I think the one thing that we've built as well with our squad is the manager uses this phrase of no stocking fillers. We don't want reserve players. Every player we have is a starting player. When they play, they're expected to win. It's not a case of, I use Alex McDonald for an example. Player doesn't really play a lot, but when he plays, he's expected to win. And if he doesn't win, it's unacceptable. Like that is the mindset. Yeah. And it's for the same, whoever we play, whether we play Portsmouth, whether we play yourselves, whether we play Bolton, we go to games expecting to win the match. There's no way we turn up to a game and, we'll nick a draw here. No, the team want to win. So I think for us, I feel very confident with anyone we play. I mean, I look at some of the results that we've had away from home this season. We lost at Portsmouth New Year's Day, didn't deserve to lose, deserved the point. Great in the second half. Same with Bolton, lost 3-2 Tuesday night back in October, just before we played yourselves. Didn't deserve to lose, were brilliant, should have got a point. So look, we don't fear any team. We go to every match, doesn't matter who we play, and we want to win and we expect to win. But I think it relates back to that pressure point. I think with us, no one expects us to be up there. You've got a lot of other big clubs like yourselves up there, a lot of pressure to do well. So I think for us, although I know I say that the team won't feel the same, there is that kind of pressure off element where we can just go to these games, enjoy them, and want to win the match. Do you know what I mean? But no, in terms of our squad, no, they expect to win every game they play.
Well, I mean, you can expect that when you've got, 44 goals this season scored, 17 of those coming from one man up top, Jamie Reid. I mean, he's absolutely on fire this season. When you're going, not only for playoffs, obviously, as we've just had a natter about, but when you're just in general having a season to remember, you always need players like him banging in goals and a talisman up top. I mean, we worried at one point throughout January that it might be snipped up by teams just looking around and going, you know what, we'll take a risk on him.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, what a guy. I mean, I honestly, Callum, mate, I can't put into words how much I love this bloke. Jamie Reid, big goal Reid. He's got his nickname at the club now, and he's a club legend. He's become a club legend. A lot of people go, he's still got more to do. He's a club legend. Do you know what? I remember when we first got Reid, we were down the bottom of League Two, and we got him, and he'd been playing at Torquay. To be fair to him, he'd scored like 30 to 40 goals in a season for Torquay. So he'd shown glimpses, but obviously at non-league, and he played Football League. And I remember when we got him, and it was like, it was kind of in limbo in his career. I think we all looked at Reid and thought maybe he'd go and play National League football. And then I remember when Steve Evans came in, he started scoring goals. I remember at the back end of the season where Steve kept us up in League Two, he scored like 4 goals in 6 games. And, it looked like he had a bit of ability, a bit of a diamond in the rough. My God, last season, the amount of big goals he scored. And then this season, he's just got even better. What a player, what a season. Joint top goal scorer in League One, 17 in League One, I think 20 in all competitions, or 21 in all competitions. No, I think there were rumours that there were Championship sides sniffing. I think the noticeable team that had been confirmed was Blackburn Rovers were after him in January. But I wasn't that worried. Reid's 29, so it's not like Reid's 24, 23. He's got that, kind of progression to go and join a Championship club and have many years. He's 29 now, so he hasn't got a long time left. He's still in his prime, but he hasn't got a long time left. So I wasn't that worried. I thought he'd stay. He'd signed a 2-year contract. He's relocated here recently as well. So I wasn't that concerned with it. But don't get me wrong, we would have been heartbroken if he'd gone. And he's won us so many points a season from so many important goals. But I just love the guy so much, and just the way he plays. He loves the club. What he's achieved, a big player, and he's having such a terrific season for us.
Well, I mean, a man behind that, as we've mentioned, Steve Evans, the way he's galvanised yourselves to be where you are. I mean, in all football, he's quite a character, and we saw when we came down to you what he was like, especially at your place. I mean, just tell us about him and the way he is really, really set your club up this season to be the way it is.
Yeah, what a guy. He is, I mean, I would go on merit. He's the greatest manager I've ever seen at Stevenage Football Club. Just the success and the impact he's had within such a short space. I mean, you see managers in football, they have success over 5 to 6 years. Steve Evans has done it in like 2 years, 18 months. It's absurd. When he first came in, we were second bottom in League Two. Honestly, we had no hope. We were gone. We had 9 games left. We were gone. And he got that team, and we had a couple of losses, and he got that team winning. And if he can get that team winning, he's a genius, because that team was useless. Let me tell you, that team couldn't win. I mean, we had more managers than wins. That is how bad it was. That's it. He got that team winning. He got 5 wins out of 6. And just the turnaround. I mean, Steve, I've had Steve on our podcast, and the thing about Steve Evans is he knows how to win football matches, and he knows how to bring people together, and it's by winning football matches. So, that's what he's done at our club. He's got a certain identity that he likes and style of play, and he brings certain players that suits that style. And with Steve, it'll always be either players that he's managed in the past or players that he's tried to get. And he keeps it very in-house, and he's done exactly the same this season. It's players that he's tried to get, or players that he's had play from in the past, and he likes it very homegrown, and he likes a small squad as well. He doesn't like a 28-man squad. It's always a 20 to 22, 24-man squad. But what a journey we've had with him. He's done an unbelievable job to keep us up. Better one last season, and this season it's been even greater. I think with him as well, he's a perfect fit for the club. Everyone hates him, but when he's your manager, I love him, and that's perfect for us. And he's done unbelievable. Just the team that he's built this season, the way that he's got it so bang on as well this season with in-game management and how we play, how we set up in League One. He's got it so right. And I'm just really excited to see how he ends the season with us. He's contracted to 2025, so he's got another season. Just what a manager. Just one of the greatest jobs I've ever seen for a manager in the lower leagues of the Football League.
Well, I mean, we're looking at a couple of fixtures. I mean, Shrewsbury in the last 1-0 win, a tight one against Wigan 3-2, 1-0 win over Blackpool, which is no mean feat. And then you've just had in the last couple of games, as we mentioned before, a 1-0 defeat to Reading and a 2-2 draw to Port Vale. Just talk to me about those 2 results. Obviously, Derby fans are going to look at it and probably be a bit worried going into this weekend. Just give us a bit of flavour as to what happened in those games. Was it just off nights? Did Port Vale and Reading manage to have your number that night? And it is what it is. Just talk to me about those.
Yeah, a mix of both, really. I put it down to a couple of off days, bit of bad luck as well in some of those matches. I mean, yeah, look, we had the 3 wins coming off the back of New Year's Day in the FA Cup. Yeah, the 1-0 win at Shrewsbury was big. The 3-2 at Wigan was a massive win. We were losing that day and turned it around. And then Blackpool, great to get the win and find the winner. Yeah, Reading last week, very simply, was just we're at home. The conditions made the game a real leveller. They nicked a goal. And it was really just one of those nights that you have every season where just nothing goes right for you. And I think Steve said if we'd have had another 20 minutes, we still wouldn't have scored. It was just one of those nights. Nothing went for us. The conditions made it a horrid game. And we lost 1-0. One of those things. Saturday, just a bit of a bad first half, I think. Just the way that we tried to play at Port Vale just was all wrong. And they're a bit of a bogey team for us. We've played them 4 times now, including the cup. They've all been draws. So it was a no-brainer. Thought it was going to be Saturday. Second half, we were brilliant. Made the changes, got the goals. Reid scored. Terence Van Kooten scored 2-1 up. Had the chances to go 3-1 up. Reid goes clean through. It hits it over. Finley Burns goes clean through. Hits it over. And we're about to win the match, and then then the Lino gives a penalty against us where Ball, I think, hit Dan Butler on the shoulder and leaned into it. And a few people have said it's a penalty. A lot have said it isn't. I don't particularly know for sure. But 98th minute that happens and they nick a point. So it's been a bit of a mix of an off day, bad luck at the same time. But we're in the mindset now where we're ready to get back winning. Obviously, I know when this comes out, we'd have just played Bristol Rovers and hopefully we've won that. I'd like to think we have. But yeah, I think coming off the back of that, the players would have been hurt with Saturday. And normally when the players have a bit of a hurtful result, they normally always respond. So yeah, just a couple of things on those. Yeah, just bad luck and an off day, really.
Well, I mean, when you look at your next few games, you said we've got Bristol tomorrow night, Derby, we've got Exeter, then you've got Derby, then you've got Wickham. I mean, Wickham have just come off a weekend where they've just beaten Peterborough quite convincingly. I mean, this week or the next week and a half, do you see this being quite pivotal for the season? Next 3 games, quite a couple of teams in and around you and stuff like that?
I do, and our manager Steve Evans has said it as well. If we're there by the end of Feb, we'll do it. We've got a great chance of doing it. So I think the game against Bristol, yourselves, Wickham, we've even got Cambridge, which is a game in hand game. End of Feb, massive, because it's our game in hand over Blackpool and Oxford. I think these next 2 weeks are pivotal. I think after these next 2 weeks, we'll know where we're going to be. So, and I think Steve Evans knows that as well, the importance of these next 2 weeks for us. So, yeah, I think when I look at March and I look at April, we've got some toughies, but we've got some winnable games there. We've got Lincoln at the start of March, winnable game for us. We can win that. We've got teams like Carlisle in there away who are down the bottom having a tough season. We've got Fleetwood at home. There's some really winnable games. So I think for us, these next 2 weeks will really dictate where we're going to be, in my opinion. I think if there's an opportunity or a chance where we get a couple of wins, we win the game in hand, we increase the distance between ourselves and Oxford, I think we'll do it. But the next 2 weeks are going to be very telling for us, I think.
And with the small squads, how's the squad looking going into this week? Obviously, tomorrow night is a bit of a red herring, but I mean, is everyone fit? Is everyone firing, or have you got a couple of niggles and expecting some people back?
Yeah, good. Yeah, everyone's back. Everyone's there. We haven't got any injuries, no suspensions. The only kind of niggle that we had was Kane Hemmings, who had built really good partnership up top with Jamie Reid actually since Kane had come in, and he got back playing Saturday and came on in the second half and was really good at Port Vale. So no, we're all ready. The only other suspension we had was Nathan Thompson because he kind of karate kicked someone in the face at Portsmouth on New Year's Day. It's one of the worst karate kicks I've ever seen. He's back now. He played Saturday. So no, we've got everyone back. Just touch wood and God willing, no one gets injured in the Tuesday night match, and we're all raring to go for Saturday. But no, everyone's fully fit, no suspensions.
And I mean, as a fan base coming to this week, I suppose you're going to come with a fairly decent support. I mean, you're sitting in 6th, and just before I go into this weekend and ask your prediction, I mean, what is your real good season? I mean, are you looking up and going into trying to see if you can sneak us? Are you trying to just cement and try and keep away Oxford and Blackpool? What yourself as a fan, where do you want Stevenage to obviously finish it in the season?
Oh, it's a great question, because for me as a supporter, just getting 50 points feels like winning the league. Literally, when we got to 50 points, it was like, we're in League One next season, because it was a case of, if we come up, are we going to be a bit like a Forest Green? We don't want to be a Forest Green, because you never really become a League One team. So when we got the 50 points a couple of weeks ago, when we beat Wigan, it was like, yes, we've done it. It feels like winning the league. So I think for me, what would I be happy with anywhere? But look, I'd love us to make the playoffs. It would be to make the League One playoffs, and the story and the journey that we've had since Steve Evans coming, where we were in League Two, to make the League One playoffs. That would be brilliant. I'd love that. I'd love us to make it. And I really believe we will as well. I just think we'll have enough to get us over the line. So I think for me, getting the top six would be unbelievable. Look, it would be incredible to go better than that and compete for the top two. And I know that our manager and the players will be looking at that, because that's the way they are. But I think as a fan, just to make the playoffs would be incredible. But do you know what? Even if we didn't and finished 7th or 8th, what a season. No one expected us to be up here competing at this time, end of the season. So, but for me, get in the playoffs and get a Bolton in the play. That would be, or yourselves, I don't know, anyone, big, or that would be class. But top 6, I'd love it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I see similarities between you and Leyton Orient. You both come up first season, and I mean, Leyton Orient are in an absolute wonder of a bit of form at the moment. So, I mean, is it that double promotion? You see it, in League Two. Wrexham's probably a little bit different, but I mean, those teams who come up and then just bouncing up again, they go up 2 within a space of 2 or 3 seasons, just because that hype behind the club, the team, you try and keep a knit of players together. I mean, what do you see from last season to similarities to this season in terms of the squad? It might not be player personnel, but is it just the way you're playing? It's just a simple way of playing that Steve Evans has got there, and he's really set on the way he wants to play. And because I think that's the thing with identity, isn't it? If the club's got identity, it's got something going for it.
Yeah, and by the way, it's a really good point, because actually, we finished second, Leyton Orient finished first, Northampton finished third. So all the automatically promoted sides come up. They're all had an unbelievable season. Carlisle the only one, but obviously they, won the playoffs. So it's quite nice actually to see all of us promoted sides doing really well. But very simply for us, it is just exactly the same style as it was last season, but it's just better players. Pretty much. I've said that on so many pods, and that's the simplest way I can say it. Exactly the same style as we played last year, this season, but we just got better players and the style's better. And that's it, really. So I think for us, that's kind of us in a nutshell. We're able to, don't get me wrong, play better football as well, because we've got better players. And I actually think about the return game against yourselves. Played some good football that day, actually. And, not a lot of people have us down for a good footballing side, but we can move the ball well. We've got, players who can do that, have played the level up the top of the level before. So, some of the lads have even played championship. So, they can play some good football. But exactly the same style, better players, and that's in a nutshell. And just we're a momentum side. If you have a look at a lot of the wins we've had this season, we'll win a game and win a game and win a game. We'll win 4 or 5 in a row. So that's us in a nutshell.
Well, I'm hoping because you've got a draw and a loss, we've caught you on a good time. But we'll see tomorrow. We'll see on the result tomorrow. But just before I'll let you go, mate, what do you see the result being on Saturday if you're going to put a score prediction on it?
Oh, do you know what? You're asking the most positive Stevenage fan in the world as well. Honestly, I'm never going to. Do you know what? I would absolutely bite your arm off for a point. And I even said to the guys, even if we didn't get a result, I wouldn't be like really annoyed, because we never thought we'd be in this position. But how do I say? It's going to be a tough game. Do you know what? I would settle for a point, and I could actually see it possibly being a draw. But being so positive, I'm just going to say we're going to nick it 1-0 with Jamie Reid right at the end, or something like that. Special day that we all remember. 90th minute winner, 1-0. Yeah, why not? You got a dream, haven't you? So I'm gonna go 1-0, but I'd bite your arm off for a point. My God.
I think you're right. I think it is leaning towards a point. I mean, Exeter, I think will be a very tough game. I think then at home we need to then get the results back in our home. So I'll go 1-0 win and say that we will get back on form. But I mean, Saturday did not give the best hope of confidence in that. So we'll wait and see. But no, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on, Matt, once again this season. Obviously, touch wood, we both go up and we'll go and have previews in the Championship. I mean, what a story that would be, yeah?
Oh, my God. You imagine coming back on here in like August, going, God, this feels a bit deja vu. The Championship, what we do? It'd be unreal, wouldn't it? It'd be unreal.
But no, that'd been an absolute pleasure, mate. If anyone from a Stevenage fan or anyone like that is listening, where can they find you?
Yeah, so anyone listening, go and find us on Twitter at TSFC Podcast, Stevenage Football Club Podcast. We've got all our content on Spotify, obviously, all over the other platforms as well. Go and follow us on that. We're on Facebook, Instagram. Go and follow us on those. Just put in the Stevenage FC Podcast and it will come up. But yeah, we've got 1 to 2 episodes every week coming out, and obviously at the minute with the team doing so well, they come out like hot dinners. Honestly, sometimes we do 3 a week or 4. Yeah, go and give us a follow on those. Yeah, that would be much appreciated. And yeah, if you want to go and listen to one of the most positive podcasts in the world at the minute, yeah, feel free.
Amazing. Well, if anyone does want to listen, you know where to find them. And that's all for us. If you did enjoy, please drop us a like, a rating. We are live on YouTube, and this will go out on YouTube as well as on audio platforms. And then if you do want to listen to how the result went on Saturday, we will be doing a live show on Sunday, so just keep an eye out for that. But for Matt, please, and thank you for coming on, mate. And hopefully we'll touch base, whether that's hopefully it's not in League One, hopefully it's in the Championship, pal.
No, Callum, look, thank you so much for me. Best luck for the rest of the season. I think you boys will do it this season. You shouldn't be in League One. You should at least be in the Championship. But yeah, us two in the Champ. Opener next season, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? You imagine?
Imagine, mate. Well, thank you very much, and have a good evening, mate.